Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks. Somebody sent me this file and they think it is not right, but I've played around with it and it's pretty right. Like this doesn't look symmetrical, like that one looks symmetrical because it's going through the center. And then when this one turns, it's because we've got a large and a medium size and a small. So if you look, like that one's equal, that one's equal, that one's equal, but it's just when it's going around this outer crest. But, and I deleted the picture he's trying to duplicate because I was trying to play with this. And he's got a white background. And I mean, I don't know if he's going to print this. It was on like a brass plaque. But one thing we can do to get rid of this white, and I'm going to take away the other parts of that. So that's these parts. I'm just going to delete those. So one thing we can do to get rid of the white outline and still have separation between the colors is to grab the white, and we're going to have to go to Object and Group and ungroup it, and try to grab just the white. And I don't have it, so I'm going to, well, it is. They're together. So I'm going to have to ungroup them all. Well, see if we can just ungroup that one. Nope. So let's just, we need the outline. So let's make a duplicate of this thing. Make sure you get it all. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set my nudge factor less, and you can see I didn't get it all on that one. I'm going to set my nudge factor on 6 inches, make it 7. So I'm going to grab it all this time and duplicate it. And I am going to left click, no fill. And now you can see our white outline. And that's perfect. But what we need to do is take this outline and go up to Object and convert the outline to an object. If we don't do that, it's not going to work. Now we're going to take the Smart Fill tool, set on black. And first of all, I'm going to make sure this is grouped together, Control G, so we can move it out of the way in just here in a second. And I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool. I'm just going to fill in these spots. And when I created an object out of the outline, it means it won't leak all the way to the line. Now, it might be hard to grab this white, but I did. So there's what we want. We want that outline, but nothing there. Now, we still need this outline for these other ones, I'm pretty sure. So let's take this and group this. No, it's this one. Take this and group it together. We've got our outline somewhere. There it is. Tell you what, for right now, I'm going to make the outline green. And we need to do the same thing here. So what we need to do is, let's just do this. See, these don't really have an outline. And these aren't perfect. You can see that you could do a little bit better job at this one. But I don't think that's what's at fault. Let's do that. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 16 of them, so that'll be easy to rotate. And let's do this. Let's move this out of the way. Well, I don't want to move it. I want to nudge it. And let's take one of the items and let's make a duplicate of it, move it over, and let's left click, right click. Now for just a second, and also I'm going to turn it into a hairline, be much easier. And I'm going to try to rotate it. I can move this because I can move it, put it back. I'm going to double click on the rotation, and I'm actually going to put it up top. And then I'm going to rotate this. Now I need to bring in an indexing line. And I've got my indexing lines turned off. And I want this object to be right on that line. Okay. Now we've still got our rotation there. So I can rotate this one. And you can really tell now how it's off. And just grab this circle handle and try to get it pretty close to that line. Now see how these are off? So what we can do, and let's just take both these nodes and go up to a line and align them horizontally. So that put them equal. Now we're going to move this out of the way for a second. Well, I can't remember if that was in the center of the page. And see, it maybe not in the center of the page because these little dots. I'm going to get rid of these dots for a second. And then this thing should be equal. Control G to group it and hit P to put it in the center of the page. So there's the center of our page. Let's go ahead and bring our yellow box over. And we're going to mimic about where this thing is in relation to the other ones. We'll bring it down a little bit. I want it about the same height. Now, I could go in and put the ball on now, but I think once he figures this out, what to do, I'm going to move this over. Now, I'm going to take this one and could, well, you know what? We're going to use the rotation. There were 16 of them. So 360 divided by 16 is 22 and a half. So what we're going to do, we're going to we're going to go in and I need to find out which one of these is in the center of the page. Okay, so that's in the center of the page. We're going to take this and double click on it. And look at that, since I moved it, it's way up there. Double click off of it. You know, that could be that's the, there we go. If you hit that indexing line, you're going to get that. Now, let's go to Windows, Dockers, Transform or Transformation, depending on which one you are. We want 22 and a half degrees, and we need 15 of them because we've already got one. And there's our objects. Let's see if they look a little better than before, than they do. Now, we are not going to fill them yet. We're going to group this together. And we're going to make them something, I don't know what thickness he had on those white lines, but we'll call that good. I'm actually going to make them white. And now let's bring in our new copy. And what we can do here, I'm going to move this out of the way. And this is all grouped together. I'm going to go ahead and hit P, put that in the center of the page. And then I can take my white and hit P and put it in the center of the page. Of course, I need to grab it and go to Object, Order, Front of Page. Now, if you look, seeing the other ones might not be perfect. You know, the ones he had before. So you might want to really look at that rotation. But we're going to rotate it 22.25 degrees to get that thing in the center. Now, if we look again, it looks like we're off. My lines are a little bit too thick for the separation, so I'm going to click on it and make them 2 points. And now what we can do, now the other is all grouped together, and I might be, and now we can just take this. It's not going to work because of that. So what we're going to have to do is, I hope I kept my original lines. There they are. Remember, we're green. Let's bring them back. I'm going to just have to hit P. Remember, I went from 16 to 6. So the green now should stop it from going in there. Hopefully it will, and it did. So now we can just do this all the way around. And once we remove the outline, and for the one I'm trying to help, I think your original looked just as good as the one that they had printed. Now, we've got all these white lines, but we can get rid of them. And I'm going to nudge them out of the way. And we have clears. There's our saint sign in the center. That to me would be a lot better. Now, we're still off, but the picture in trying to, it's hard. You cannot, if this is in the center and this is in the center, because this one's larger, this cannot look like it's in the center. That's just, I mean, you're going from something big to little. You can see where this line starts here and this line starts here. This one can't be in the center of those. It relatively should be in the center between, the outer points, but when you get to the center, and they look really pretty close. But what I'm suggesting is do what I just did. And matter of fact, I'll send you this item, and then you can add your balls and add your red dots. And it's going to be a really neat design. And I'm not 100% sure I helped him, but maybe I did. And then he had another octagon in the center of it. Well, right there, that you could just ungroup. Or not an octagon, but a 6-sided, 8-sided pentagon. But see, we have separation, but there's nothing there. It's a blank spot. See, so whether this was printed on this brass or it was engraved, it'll look like that. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit. Thank you for watching.